killed the market for, of course. So now this had killed the market for, of course.
I'm ready.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, watching us here on Blackwood Fire Network. My name is INNOSSETU, together with my colleague.
Africa Maria.
Yeah.
You're welcome on Blackwood Fire Network. Today is, of course, our Wednesday. So today we've come in a little bit late because we had electricity issues, but we are back. Yeah, this is Africa, and of course, yeah, there are a lot going on with that. So, of course, passengers at the Kenya's main international airport have been left stranded after workers began a strike protesting, of course, against a planned deal between the government and the India's Adani Group. And sorry about that. Like I was saying, the passengers at the Kenya's main international airport left stranded after workers began a strike protesting against a planned deal between the government and the India's Adani Group. You know that the government involves renovating Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and adding a new runway and terminal with Adani managing the airport for 30 years. So the Indian government should actually manage the airport for 30 years. Workers fear that the deal will result in job losses and worse working conditions. This is something that is very absurd. We have seen the experience of Indians in Africa. We have seen what Indians do in Africa. We know very well that when Indians have been given an opportunity in Africa, the first priority they will always look at are their fellow Indians. And given the past experience of Africa and India over down here in Africa has never been the best experience ever. Indians are among the people who mistreat Africans. They've got a lot of racism and actually they don't. This is something that everyone is bound to fear, and of course we know the of course the workers at this particular airport may not be the same. First of all, we know that a lot of them will lose their jobs because we have this particular job we have had on this particular airport. Sorry, we've had a lot of workers from Africa and Kenya as a whole, and they are given the best priorities or given options, becoming the first priority or the first option when it came to job and employment over that airport. India is a place we have had, by the way, Indians in Arab countries, and we know very well that Indians have their own standards, okay, when they are looking for particular things. We are about to see a lot of Kenyans losing their jobs in their country, losing their jobs to the Indians. All right. We are about to see a lot of people who have not been working in Kenya from elsewhere being employed or being replaced, because it is okay for you to be employed and a different thing for you to be replaced by someone else on an expense of you losing that particular job. All right, so I even wonder why it is so important for the government of Kenya to have these agreements with the Indians to renovate the airport and so on. I don't know why Ruto is actually doing it all wrong all the time, making these, having the parliament and of course his board make these decisions that have not been revised at all. We are trying to struggle as Africans, and unemployment is one of the biggest issues or the biggest problems that Africans are experiencing. And to my surprise, our leaders shoot. To my surprise, our leaders. To my surprise, our leaders are actually forgetting or not, actually, they are not even forgetting because they know they are not minding about the needs of their people, because this is not something that is very easy or simple to deal with. We know very well, we have seen Indians here in Uganda, Indians that are having we have seen Indians with their shops and all that. If at all Indians have not been supporting black businesses, why is it so easy for our leaders to, of course, allow these people to still come down here and start managing such a place that has employed a thousands of Africans or a thousands of Kenyans per the topic today? Innocent. Bakube, she, are you sure the Papa like Ate otembao. We are trying to share something, but unfortunately, it's okay, fine.
Miss Africa is back in the city. Hi Maria, hi Setu.
Hi, Jiba Jaba. I'm not in the city. Innosetu has come to visit. So, Innosetu has come to visit. So, of course, we had to set the studio here, and yeah. So that's why it looks like we are back. Yeah. But I'm not in the city.
Hey, what's up?
How are you? How are you? Jaba, Jaba? I'm not in the city. I'm still in the village. It is Innocent who has come in the village. Yeah. Um, to see me. He actually came yesterday, but we didn't have lights. It was raining, so we could not come live. Mhm. Yeah, I hope you're doing good. Of course, we
Don't you two go sitting in
we
a
then
chair?
No, already Really? We were there plucking some fruits yesterday, but we didn't sit in the trees though. So, so Jibjaba, today we are discussing about the Kenya airport protest issues, which are brought about by, of course, the unsatisfaction of the Kenyan airport workers or the employees who are in fear of losing their jobs after the Kenyan government has signed agreements of renovation and management of the Kenyatta International Airport by the Adani Group, and of course the Adani Group is an Indian group. So a lot today, of course, being our Wednesday, and yes, a lot of people have been seen stranded on the airport. A lot of people have been stranded because the workers at the airport have, of course, striked and they have been protesting. Okay, yeah, I'm okay having lunch and stopped to say hi. Thank you so much. So these people have been protesting in fear that they are going to lose their jobs. And of course, I fear too because we have seen a lot of we have seen the mistreatment of Indians. We have seen the mistreatment of Africans by the Indians all over, not only in Kenya but also in Uganda and elsewhere. Indians have not had a very good reputation of course, a very good reputation here in Africa. In history, the past days or the past years, when the Indians were very many, there was huge mystery. There was a time when I gave these guys a story. Uh, um, we were told that if at all you were a boy, we might have a boy. Because Indians used not to take housemates. They would rather take houseboys. And Indians would call them boy. And I think this is where the word maid came from. People going, boy, who said "Deep boy? It doesn't mean that deep boy, but a boy. Am I your maid or stuff? Indians introduced that word boy. You know how they communicate. So, but most of them had they had houseboys rather, and they used to mistreat these young boys who used to work in their houses as maids, I should say. That before anyone would eat, they would even spit in their food, and that I wasn't. Sorry, and that being put aside, there is their visible, there is their visible mistreatment that is visibly seen. First of all, they are racist. Indians are racist. If at all they are racist to their own fellow black Indians, because there is a way they look at people with a dark skin complexion. How are they going to treat the Africans? Now, at a place like this airport, where we have got a lot of people educated, because we are looking at people who are working in a white collar airport job to clean us, then how are they sorry, we are looking at people working at this airport. We are looking at a category of people from the white collar to, of course, the bottom. And how are these people going to be treated? And it is also known that Indians always take their own as the first priority. I believe that we're going to see the entire management or the entire managing board being, of course, of Indians. All right, we are going to see the entire managing board being of Indians, because even here in Africa, if an Indian opens, for example, a store, which usually people call supermarkets, you will find that all the people managing these supermarkets, the managers, store managers, whoever, they are Indians. And then the rest of the people who are working as, of course, people who are lifting luggage, people who are working elsewhere are usually the Africans or the black people. Now we are looking at the top sector of this entire airport, this top structure losing almost their jobs, because I know they will still secure the jobs for the cleaners, for the Kenyans, but these other people working in the offices, we expect to see a lot of racism being carried out in this particular airport, where a skin stereotype is going to be extremely visible, because we are now dealing with people who have this sickness. I wonder why the African government, as Jim Jabba says, especially the accountants. Mhm. True. I wonder why we are so quick at giving opportunities to people who will never or have never given us opportunities. I wonder why. But of course, you have okay, have an age, I say that not good that nationality runs everything on that chip to maximize profits. You understand? And yes, they're going to start reducing their salary for those who will be, for those who will still remain working, for those who will be retained at that airport. They are going to cut off their salary. We are going to see Obucha. Indians, oof. We are going to see. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know how those guys they are? And like Jim Jabba says that they of course they run everything on the cheap to maximize profits, and then they always use cheap things. I'm going to tell you, you're going to see the entire airport. See, they're mentioning the word renovation. When we are looking at renovation, we expect to see bad to good, or a fair to more fair, or probably we expect to see the best out